Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the podcast. I want to take a moment to talk about my Stop Overspending Masterclass that is happening on Saturday, August 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. You are all invited. And we're going to talk about why overspending is a problem in your life. We're going to dig deep into that because the truth is, for many of us, overspending is causing us to have friction in our relationships. It's causing us to be stressed out all the time. It causes us to feel shame and guilt over the fact that we're not as far along as we want to be. There are so many consequences to overspending. And I want to do a masterclass for you all so that you can really get to the bottom of it and truly decide to change it if that's what you want to do. We're also, during that masterclass, we're going to look at why you overspend. We're going to look at the psychology. I'm going to break it all down for you, and you're going to be surprised by what you find out. So you don't want to miss this masterclass. I'm also going to really give you the way that I know how to solve the problem for good. And so you are invited. You can register for it today, right in the show notes. So I hope you join me. It's Saturday, August 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So now let's get into our topic for today. So today we're going to talk about the value of coaching. Here's what I know. Some of us are very, very unfamiliar with life coaching. We just don't know about it. We don't know what it is. We don't know if we need it. We think it's for other people like celebrities and things like that. And I want you to know that life coaching is for you. Anyone that desires to grow to the next level, anyone who desires to change their life in any area and they're struggling to do so, a coach can be one of the best investments that you can make. And this is coming from someone who has invested a lot of money and time into my very own coaching. I know how valuable it is. So I want to share it with you because I know a lot of you may not have ever even thought about having your own coach, or you just don't know a lot about it. We know amazing people like Oprah, Bill Gates, and anyone else that you can think of that's probably successful in their own right. They had a coach. I 100% will put money on that. Because in order to grow and to get from level to level to level, like you have to overcome so many mental obstacles that you almost need someone standing on the outside to point out what's holding you back, to point out where your mindset is off, to point out where your thinking is off, to correlate the reason why you're doing certain things and creating certain results in your life is because of how you're thinking. Right? And that's what a life coach does. They help you to really, at least the kind of life coaching I do, I help you to really see the cause of your problems. And we work on the cause, not necessarily the symptoms, so that you can have permanent change in your life. So I'm going to start from the beginning, why I even became a coach. So as you know, I am a certified life and money coach. And you know my story. My money was a hot mess, and I figured out how to change my life, right? And then I tried to help other people do the exact same things I did. So I was teaching them all the things I did. Like, okay, I created a spending plan every month. Okay, then I set goals and I paid off my debt and I saved money and I invested more and I went after promotions and raises and I just made a whole lot of extra money and I cleaned up my financial mess by doing all of these things. So I would tell people, this is what you do. And they would get results. Like they will do the thing for maybe a few weeks. I used to do savings challenges where I would create these charts, and people in my community, they would get the savings charts and they would save like $300 in 1 month or $500 in 1 month. And people used to say to me, I've never been able to do this before. People who made six figures in their corporate jobs were never able to save, $200 or $300 in 1 month before, which to me, thinking back, is like mind boggling, but I can relate because I was there. And so they would do those challenges, but then they would spend the money and they wouldn't take any other steps. Like once I ended the challenge or once the challenge was over, they reverted right back to who they were before. Like they didn't keep it up. And so I really had to get clear. And so I asked myself a question like, okay, Jermaine, you did do all of those things that you're telling other people to do, but there was something much deeper that happened. You had a paradigm shift. You started to think differently. You started to think about money differently. You started to think about your capabilities differently. You started to become more confident. You were determined. Like you had mental shifts. And that is what allowed you to take all those action steps. So what you're doing, Jermaine, you're just telling them what to do, but you're not helping them get the mental shifts they need in order to actually do the things and to keep doing the things until they get the result. And so because I was determined and passionate about helping women just like me, women who are successful in their own right, especially in corporate America, or maybe they had a business and they were making all the money, but they were not keeping the money. That's my person. She likes to spend. She likes to buy nice things. And so she thinks that, she has to choose between either building wealth or enjoying her life. But that's like a lie. You don't have to choose. You can do both at the same time. I want to help her realize that she can do both at the same time. And I know in order to help her, I have to help her have mindset shift. So I invested to become a certified life coach with the Life Coach School, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made because now I have all the tools, all of the things that can help people make permanent changes in their lives. Not just, like being on a fad diet where I'm going to eat carrots all day long and then I'm going to lose 10 pounds, but then I'm going to gain 20 back the next month once I'm done with that diet. Just like my clients in my community, I used to have a Facebook group where we would do savings challenges, right? They would save the $200 or the $300, but then the following month they would spend it because they didn't have the mental shifts and the new ways of thinking that would help them to maintain the savings and to continue to do it. So that is why I became a certified life coach, because I want to help women like me have lasting, permanent change in their lives, especially around their money. So that is why I became a life coach. And now I want to talk to you about 3 reasons. There's so many reasons, but I'm going to give you the 3 top reasons why you should consider hiring a life coach, why it's probably one of the best uses of your money and of your time, of your precious resources, because it is the thing that could literally help you change your life, get the kinds of results you want permanently. And there are all kinds of life coaches. I happen to work with women in their money, but some work on relationships. Some help people find their spouses. Some people help them have better marriages. Some help you lose weight. Some help you to stop over drinking. Some help you to be a better parent. There are so many different life coaches out there. For me, I focus on money, but I'm going to give you the top 3 reasons why you should consider hiring a life coach. And I'm also going to talk about different ways you can experience coaching as well. Reason number 1, a life coach will help you to actually get started. Here's the thing. So many of you know you need to do something different, but you're not doing it. A life coach will help you discover the ways of thinking that's holding you back, the doubt, the unwillingness to change. A life coach will help you to see why those things exist. They will help you to get over the confusion because I hear this all the time. I don't know where to start. A life coach will help you to get started one step at a time. A life coach will help you to stop procrastinating on your dreams. She or he will help you to stop avoiding your life. I hear so many women tell me that I don't even want to look at my credit score. Or I don't even want to look at my bank account. I don't want to open my credit card statements. A life coach will help you to stop avoiding your life. She will help you to understand that it's normal to be nervous. It's normal to be afraid, but nervousness and fear are never, ever reasons to not change your life. A life coach will help you to see that the reason why you're nervous and afraid is because you're stepping outside your comfort zone, and that everything you ever wanted is 1 or 2 steps outside your comfort zone. I know a lot of you want to tell yourself that you'll figure it out on your own, or you'll piece together a way to figure it out. You'll watch YouTube videos and listen to podcasts and read blog posts and read books and join Facebook groups and watch endless videos on TikTok. You get all of this information, you get all motivated and inspired, but you don't make lasting change. So 6 months later, 1 year later, 5 years later, you're still in the same place. A life coach will help you to take action now so that 6 months later, a year later, you are a totally different person and you have totally different results. You will be so proud of yourself. A life coach helps you to change your life. And the way to start changing your life is to simply get started. And that's what a life coach will help you do. Number 2, a life coach supports you along the way. So she doesn't just get you started. So I'm going to use she from now on because I'm a she and this is what I do. So a life coach supports you along the way. So she doesn't leave you hanging just to start. She helps you on the journey. So she does that by helping you to set goals. At least I do. I help my clients set goals. I help them to really uncover their true values, to really have a vision for their lives. And then we create a plan of action. And then we follow through. I help my clients follow through. Your coach will help you to follow through with your plan. And if you're not following through with your plan, your coach will be able to help you uncover the thought patterns, the ways of thinking that's causing you not to follow your plan. It's always something you're thinking that's preventing you from moving forward. But here's the problem. You have 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are unconscious. You don't even know you're thinking them. But one session with a life coach, you can literally uncover the one thought that has kept you stuck for years. The one way of thinking that has kept you living a life that you don't love. Just one sentence sometimes it is all it is. And if you can uncover it and begin to question it and just let it go, you can literally change everything about your life. You can literally become wealthy by just removing one thought that isn't serving you, one thought that's keeping you stuck, one thought that is preventing you from being the person you want to be. Your coach can also help you to strategize around obstacles. Once we find the obstacles, you have so much wisdom inside of you, your coach will help you to uncover that wisdom so that you can sidestep your obstacles. You don't always have to get rid of them because guess what? We live in a world where obstacles exist and you do not need to get rid of every single obstacle in order to be successful in whatever you want to be successful in. But your coach will help you to see that. Your coach will help you to uncover the wisdom that is already inside of you so that you can sidestep those obstacles and not let them prevent you from moving forward. So here's the thing too. When you're on the journey, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to fall off the horse. If you're riding a horse, you're going to fall off the horse. But here's what a coach will do. She will help you to get back on the horse. But before you get back on the horse, She will help you to clean yourself up. She will help you to not beat yourself up for falling off the horse. She will help you to forgive yourself for making the mistake. And she will help you to not let that mistake derail you from moving forward. That is the value of having a coach. She supports you along the way until you get what you want. And that brings me to number 3. A coach will help you to maintain your success once you achieve it. So here's the thing. You will have tangible results that you will get, and you will also have some intangible results. The tangible results are going to be those results that you can physically touch. So that could be $20,000 saved in your emergency fund, that you are no longer overspending, so you now have money every month instead of living paycheck to paycheck. You can pay off debt. The debt can be gone. So your credit card balance is now 0, right? So these are tangible things. You will also have some intangible results. The person who you've become on the journey, the skills that you have acquired on the journey. Both of those are super important, and a coach will help you to maintain both of those. Here's what I want you to know. When you do get there, your new results are very much so unfamiliar to your brain. And remember, your primitive brain does not like the unfamiliar. It likes to only be in the familiar. I talked all about this in episode number 7 called Your Fancy Brain. Go back and listen to that if you need a refresher. But remember, your primitive brain likes to live in the familiar. And so when you get this new result, your brain is going to freak out. And your coach will be there to help you to maintain that result long enough that your brain will then become familiar with that result. And once your brain is familiar with that result, then it's like, it's just who you are. It's just your way of life. And once it is familiar, once it's your way of life, it is very hard and unlikely that you'll revert back to your old ways of living and thinking. Your identity will literally change. You will have evolved into the next highest version of yourself. This, my friends, is valuable. Coaching is valuable. Like I said earlier, it's one of the best investments I ever made. And I want you to know it's available to you too. Like us, normal people. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be famous to hire or have a coach. You can have a coach. And it's worth the investment of money, and it's worth the investment of time. I want you to think about it. Let's say you're someone, we're going to deal with money here. Let's say you're someone who makes $100,000 a year. Or let's just give it a range. Let's say you make between $75,000 a year and $150,000 a year, and you overspend. And so the most you've ever been able to save is maybe a couple $1,000s. You always carry a balance on your credit cards, so you're always paying interest, and you only invest in your 401k up to the match, and your match is like 2%. And you then hire a coach, and that coach is able to help you to change that. So you're no longer overspending because you were overspending, and that's why your results were kind of mediocre. You only had very little money saved, and you were always, paying on your credit cards, and you really weren't investing. So now you're no longer overspending. But you spend in an intentional way that really lights you up. You get to travel like you wanted to travel. You get to give like you wanted to give. You get to buy nice things, but it's not based off of impulsivity. It is intentional, and it feels good because there's no guilt associated with it. There are no negative consequences associated with it. And because you are now that person, you're able to build up your emergency fund. So maybe you wanted $25,000 in your emergency fund, and now you're able to do that because you invested in coaching. You were able to pay off your credit card where you no longer carry a balance, but you're able to get your points and get your free flights and your free hotel rooms and all that good stuff. but you're not paying them hundreds of dollars of interest every single month, which equals up to thousands of dollars a year. You're not doing that anymore. That money is now going into your investment account. So you're not only maxing out your 401k, but you've got a Roth IRA or an IRA. You are confident enough to be like, I can be making more. I'm worth it. I'm good enough for that promotion. All because your coach helped you to stop procrastinating and to start going after that next position. Or the coach helped you to cultivate the courage to step outside your comfort zone and leave that company that didn't have any upward mobility available to you. You did all of those things because you invested your time and your money in coaching. How much is that worth? Because that's just the start of it. Imagine compounding interest because you're investing more. Imagine all the money that you're not paying in interest to the credit card debts. Imagine all that money you get to keep. Imagine the experiences you get to have, the trips you get to take, the events you get to go to because you now have money. And most of all, imagine how peaceful you feel, how financially secure you feel, how in control you feel because you now are in control of your money. You forget when payday is because you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You're like, oh, I got paid today, cool. Because you're not living that life anymore. That is the value of coaching. And I meet so many amazing women who can't make that correlation. So I wanted to come on today and make that correlation for you because investing a few $1,000s and some hours of your time over a span of, a few months is worth it. The return on your investment can be 5, 10, 20 times what you put in. I'm a witness. So invest in yourself. If you are thinking about working with me, if you are thinking about hiring, even if it's a different person, a different coach, maybe your thing is you want to do something else versus money, whatever it is, go for it. The person who you'll become and the results you'll create will blow your mind. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk to you about, as I promised, is like the ways you can work with the coach. So now we know, okay, it's valuable. There's no question about that. There are different ways you can work with a coach. For me, I work with clients one-to-one or in a group. One-to-one is just you and your coach working on only your situation, and it's usually over Zoom, and it's private. It's just you, and you get the entire 45 minutes to an hour to yourself, and you usually meet once a week. And then the group setting is also powerful because not only will you be getting coached, but you will watch other people get coached. And sometimes that is even more powerful than getting coached yourself because you see yourself in other people. When they are stuck or when they're trying to figure out a way around an obstacle or when they're trying to decondition themselves from thinking a certain way about money and wealth and what they can accomplish, you can see yourself in that and make the same changes that they're making in themselves in yourself. So it's just a powerful thing as well. Neither one is better than the other. Typically, a group coaching program will be a little less expensive because you are in a group, you're not getting the one-on-one attention, and then the one-on-one can be a little more, but not all the time. And it just depends. And I pride myself on really making my coaching accessible to most people. If you are a career woman, you're making good money, $75,000 plus, I know that you can afford my coaching packages 100%. I have no doubt. But will you afford it? That's a different question. But you have to see the value. You have to see the value. And so that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because I see so many of you holding yourself back. 6 months from now, a year from now, unfortunately, many of you will just be in the same exact place because you didn't want to invest in yourself. And here's the thing I really want you to know. You're going to spend the money anyway. Is it going to be on something that is going to change your life? Or is it going to be on something that will just be cluttered in your closet, that will just become trash in about a year? Something that won't do anything for you, but give you a false hit of pleasure in the moment when you buy it with instant gratification. Coaching is something that can literally change everything for you. So I hope this podcast was helpful. I would love it if you plan to join me Saturday, August 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Stop Overspending Masterclass. I would love it if you join me. I'll see you there. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.